one more specifically, we'll be talking about one character in particular that I have been continuously watching and now reading for the past couple of weeks. Every single week, I'm involved in the Reddit for when the newest chapter comes out. And it's just so frustrating. It's probably the most frustrating manga that's going on right now. And it's probably one of the most shit on manga that's going on right now. If you guys do not know what I'm talking about, I am talking about Rent-a-Girlfriend. More specifically, I am talking about the main girl, Chizuru Ichinose. Remember, her real name is Ichinose, but Kazuya always calls her Chizuru Mizuhara because that's what she's known when it comes to her job as a rental girlfriend. Now, one of the reasons why I gotta say that Chizuru is one of the most frustrating characters for me is just for the simple factor is just like, alright, I understand like slowly building towards a romance and slowly building towards Kazuya and Chizuru getting together, but it feels like every time we get two steps forward, there's 3 steps back. Every time Kazuya does something right, Chizuru tries to like ruin the whole moment. This simple standpoint. Now keep in mind, currently in the Rent-a-Girlfriend episodes, we are building up to the vacation arc or the paradise arc, and this is where Kazuya and Chizuru are going to end up having a big moment together. But after that big moment together, Chizuru ghosts him for 3 months. She does this in front of the whole family so they know that they're an official couple and everybody can start believing him, and then she ghosts him for 3 months. And then keep in mind, even when she's done ghosting him, she goes to him and they have a conversation and she doesn't even really apologize. You ghost someone that you kissed and you for his whole family to believe that you guys are together, even though you guys are still dealing with a fake relationship and Kazuya is still renting you out because you're a rental girlfriend. That is literally her job. She's a rental girlfriend, hence the show, Rent-a-Girlfriend. And it's just so frustrating because the thing is, I didn't like Kazuya in the beginning, but now that I continue reading the story, I'm starting to respect Kazuya more because he actually has fucking sense, and Chizuru doesn't. And then when it comes to the latest parts of the manga that I've been reading, that many people probably that only watched the show, haven't been reading the manga. Spoiler alert for you guys listening ahead, but it comes down to a point where they're living together after their apartment burns down, and they start living together with Minnie, who is probably one of the best characters in the Rent-a-Girlfriend show. And she's definitely Kazuya's best girlfriend, if I was standpoint. So right now, Kazuya has a fake girlfriend, a real girlfriend, and then a girl best friend. So he has his choices picked. And then we have Sumi over there, and then we have Mommy, his ex-girlfriend, and Sumi's another Rent-a-Girlfriend. So it's basically just one big loop between all of these women. But it leads up to Chizuru and Kazuya going on a date. And this date is supposed to decide Mizuhara's feelings. If she has feelings, true feelings for Kazuya, or if she doesn't have true feelings for Kazuya. And the whole time that they're on the date together, she's asking him relationship type questions. How many kids do you want? What would you do in this type of scenario? Like, what would you do? Like, how would you break up with Ruka? Because he's still technically going out with Ruka because he loves Chizuru, but Ruka doesn't want to break up, so he can't really do it. And I don't understand that, because it's just like, if you want to break up, why is Ruka getting a choice in this matter? Like, I understand, like, she's the girlfriend, but if it's the breakup, then a breakup can be one-sided, and the other, even though the other side doesn't have to accept it, that still happens, and a breakup happens. But let me not forget, it's anime, so it's completely different to the real world. But still, this whole date is Chizuru asking Kazuya multiple questions that have to do with him possibly being her boyfriend in the future. And it all comes up to a moment where she even says, hey, I might be in love with you. I might be in love with you. But the next chapter, I would tell you this chapter is the one that got Rent-a-Girlfriend the most shit on. I believe it was chapter 380 or 381, where Chizuru rejects Kazuya. And not only does she reject Kazuya, she picks one of the most stupidest reasons for it. Yeah, the thing is here, I may be in love with you, but I'm not in love with you enough to stop doing my job as a rental girlfriend. So basically, she's saying that, hey, I prefer being a rental girlfriend or being your actual girlfriend. Do you know how much that would fucking hurt Kazuya? That, bro, and they showed his face. That man looked pissed. But that man still loved Chizuru, and he still ended up, like walking a different way. They ended up meeting together. He found out that, like she had a bruise on her ankle, so he ended up carrying her back home. Skip to the next episode, next chapter right into it's moving day. Like after Chizuru goes to bank and it's moving day, so Kazuya is getting ready to go into the cab. Like after it's all his stuff moved out. And then he walks by Chizuru, and they kind of have a moment together. And then Kazuya is like, "Hey, you remember that promise I made to you a couple, like a couple years or so ago, when you said that he will never stop loving her? If it takes 10 years, 20 years, he will always love her." And he says, "I will always keep that promise to her." And that made Chizuru get into the moment where she has to really decide, like, "Hey, this guy's about to leave. I need to do something." So as he gets into the cab, she goes into the cab and kisses him. No pressure, no nothing. Chizuru full on kisses Kazuya. And Kazuya leaves in the moment, and the driver says, "Hey, is that your girlfriend?" And Kazuya's like, "Yeah, I guess she is." But then it comes to the latest chapter. And keep in mind, I have not fully read this latest chapter, but I've seen parts from being on the Reddit. And there's one major part where Chizuru's like, he'll probably continue still to rent me out. And, I probably can't really have this. I'm just like, you just kissed him. You just kissed him, and you're already acting like this. It's like Chizuru takes one big step forward and then comes back and just does another thing that made people hate her. I would say this right now. There's Sumi, there's Minnie, there's Chizuru, there's Mommy, and then there's Ruka. Out of all 5 of them, you know which girl is actually the most hated? It's not Mommy, surprisingly. It's not Minnie. It's not Ruka. And it's not Sumi. It's Chizuru. The whole fan base that watch Rent a Girlfriend do not like Chizuru, and I'm not surprised. Because she's a frustrating character to watch. Ruka is freaking obsessed with Kazuya, and she's clingy as hell, but she's a very good character. Sumi, a Renter Girlfriend, doesn't really talk that much. She's one of the most lovable characters in the show. And then Minnie, who is, I would probably say, is the most well-liked girl in the whole Renter Girlfriend situation. And then there's Mommy, his ex-girlfriend, who does some mean shit, but still, she has a point, and she, still has, some sort of character. Chizuru is supposed to have that character, but it seems like the guy that does the manga just doesn't know how to do Chizuru right. And that's the frustrating part, is because people can see that she clearly loves Kazuya. She definitely fucking loves Kazuya, but she just doesn't, she's indecisive with her feelings, and she needs to get over that. Because we watched 4 seasons now of Kazuya dealing with this shit with Chizuru, making her a movie so her dying grandmother could see it, bringing that movie to the hospital so she could see it before her grandmother passed away. And Chizuru is saying, "Hey, I'd rather be a rental girlfriend than being your actual girlfriend." She ghosted him for 3 months after kissing him. So yeah, when it comes to rental girlfriend, the most frustrating character, and I gotta say this, in romance anime, the most frustrating female character, I gotta say, in romance anime, at this current standpoint, is Chizuru Mizuhara, and there's no close second. I gotta say that.